殺させの力。
やらねば痛いよ。何黒だったな。先に行かんか。
けどよ。せっかく平和な時代に。楽しかったぜ。ちゃんと鍛えとけ。
片付けたぐらいでいい気になるな。
あいつか。出してくれ。お前はなんだお前。蹴りやろう。だらし見せやれよ。誰だお前は。最後俺が倒す。
もう無理よ。
戦いは愛する人を裏切って上がるんじゃねえよ。
恐怖に訴えろ。王子、国取りを開始するぞ。そんな技のみは解きさませろ。できた。恐れているのか。その
Hey guys, today we're diving deep into the explosive conclusion of the Rurouni Kenshin live-action trilogy, The Legend Ends, a film that truly delivers on its promise of epic sword fights and dramatic stares. We pick up right where Kyoto Inferno left off. Kenshin, the legendary Batusai, has been utterly clobbered by the villainous Shishio and is lucky enough to wash ashore where his old master Hiko Seijuro finds him, because apparently even legendary assassins need their super sensei to bail them out. Hiko, a man whose fashion sense revolves entirely around dramatic capes and side-eye, wastes no time in giving Kenshin the tough love he desperately needs. Kenshin, all bandaged up and looking like he went 10 rounds with a blender, isn't here for a spa day. He's here to finally learn the ultimate Hiten Mitsurugi technique, something his master strategically forgot to teach him earlier, probably for plot reasons. The training, as you'd expect, is brutal. We see Kenshin getting knocked around like a pinball, enduring powerful strikes from Hiko's bakken, the wooden sword making a satisfying thwack with every hit. It's less a lesson, more a full-body chiropractic adjustment delivered at speed. Hiko isn't just teaching him how to swing a sword. He's dismantling Kenshin's entire philosophy of never killing again, arguing that Kenshin's conviction is actually a weakness in this particular fight. It's a classic master-apprentice dynamic, heavy on the physical pain and light on the emotional validation. If you had a good time with this, a like and a subscribe is a free way to help me keep making more. Meanwhile, back in the land of Where's Kenshin? Our intrepid trio of Kaoru, Sanosuke, and Yahiko are on a quest to find their missing samurai. Kaoru, ever the picture of unwavering devotion, is clearly heartbroken and worried sick. Sanosuke, with his trusty Zanbato, is all bluster and loyalty, ready to bust some heads if it means getting answers. And little Yahiko, bless his heart, is tagging along, probably wondering if there will be snacks on this epic adventure. They trek through picturesque Japanese countryside, their shoes crunching on gravel, the wind rustling through the trees, a stark contrast to the intense training Kenshin is undergoing. It's a journey filled with hope and dread as they question villagers and follow vague leads. The metallic clang of Sanosuke's sword against his back as he walks is a constant reminder that danger is never far. Every new person they encounter is a potential source of information or, given the tumultuous times, a potential threat. Kaoru's unwavering belief in Kenshin is palpable, her eyes constantly scanning the horizon, hoping to catch a glimpse of his familiar red attire. They're basically playing a very high-stakes game of Where's Waldo? But Waldo is a legendary swordsman and there are ninjas everywhere. Cutting back to our villain. Because what's a hero without a truly unhinged antagonist? Shishio Makoto, looking less like a burn victim and more like a Halloween costume gone horribly right, is chilling on his ridiculously enormous steam-powered ironclad battleship, the Rengoku. He's got his loyal and equally crazy Uppongatana, or 10 swords, gathered around him, plotting world domination. His plan? Take Tokyo, naturally. Because apparently, villains only ever have one goal. The ship itself is a marvel of steampunk engineering, all creaking metal, belching smoke, and the constant hum of its massive engines. It's a floating fortress of doom, capable of flattening cities with its cannons. Shishio, with his bandaged face and a grin that promises pain, outlines his strategy. His voice, a low rumble, cuts through the mechanical roar of the ship as he explains how he'll use the Rengoku to devastate the capital, plunging Japan back into chaos, a chaos he believes is necessary for true strength. His followers hang on his every word, their fanaticism a chilling counterpoint to Kenshin's gentle idealism. This guy doesn't just want power. He wants to rewrite the rules of existence with a flaming sword and a really big boat. You know, just a chill Tuesday for a supervillain. And now for a moment of, how did this kid get so messed up? We get a flashback to Seda Sujiro's absolutely heartbreaking childhood. Turns out the guy who smiles while slicing people to ribbons didn't exactly have a warm and fuzzy upbringing. We see a young Sujiro, a mere child, being physically and verbally abused by his adopted family. The thud of punches, the harsh shouts, the chilling silence of their indifference, it all paints a bleak picture. He's treated worse than a stray dog, forced to work and live in squalor. The only thing that kept him going was a strange, twisted form of self-preservation, a mental block he developed to suppress all emotion. This repression is the secret to his frightening speed, the shukuchi. He literally outruns his feelings, becoming faster and faster to escape the pain. It's a tragic origin story that makes you almost feel sorry for the kid, before you remember he's still part of Shishio's homicidal squad. It's a poignant moment that makes you realize even villains sometimes have their own demons. Or in Sujiro's case, a complete lack of them. Back on the mountain, it's time for Kenshin's final exam. And let me tell you, it's not multiple choice. Hiko, still rocking that magnificent cape, brings the full weight of the Hiten Mitsurugi style against Kenshin. The clash of their wooden swords is deafening, echoing through the peaceful forest. Kenshin is faster, stronger, but Hiko is a force of nature, moving with a calm, almost leisurely power that belies his devastating attacks. Kenshin is pushed to his absolute breaking point, his muscles screaming, his breath ragged. He keeps falling, keeps getting up, his determination a raw, burning fire. The ground crunches under their feet, leaves rustle violently from their movements. It's less a fight and more a master sculptor hammering a stubborn block of marble until it reveals its true form. Hiko explains the core philosophy behind the ultimate technique. It's not just about speed or power, but about the will to live. It's a deep philosophical point, delivered with a casual sword butt to the face. Kenshin finally taps into that deeper resolve. He understands that to protect others, he must first want to live himself, and in a brilliant burst of insight, he performs the Amakakeru Ryu no Hirameki, the Heaven's Gate Flying Dragon Flash, a technique that's so fast, it actually creates a vacuum behind the first strike to draw the opponent in for a second, more lethal blow. It's so fancy, it probably comes with its own personal light show. He barely lands it, but he lands it, passing his master's ultimate test. Phew! Now he's truly ready to face Shishio. Just as Kenshin finally levels up, Shishio makes his grand entrance. The Rengoku, that monstrous floating fortress, steams ominously towards Tokyo Bay. The sight of it is pure dread. The ship's engines thrumming ominously, its smokestacks belching thick, dark plumes into the sky. It's a terrifying harbinger of doom. People on the shore stare in wide-eyed horror, their cries of alarm carried on the wind. It's like a scene straight out of a kaiju movie, except the kaiju is a battleship. The government officials are, understandably, panicking. This isn't just a military threat. It's a symbol of a new, terrifying kind of warfare. It's a steam-powered middle finger to traditional samurai warfare. The sheer scale of the ship, its dark silhouette against the setting sun, is designed to inspire fear, and it's doing a bang-up job. The sense of impending chaos is palpable, a heavy weight hanging over the entire city. Shishio isn't just attacking. He's making a statement loud and clear, with enough firepower to back it up. He's basically saying, hey, remember that peaceful era? Yeah, about that. With the Rengoku looming, the government is in crisis mode. Generals and politicians huddle in dimly lit war rooms, the air thick with tension and the smell of desperation. Their usual tactics won't work against this technological terror. Enter Saito Hajime, the perpetually grim former Shinsengumi captain, looking as stoic as ever, probably already judging everyone in the room. He's the resident expert on dealing with highly dangerous individuals, having once tried to kill Kenshin himself. He offers his tactical insights, suggesting a last-ditch effort to intercept the Rengoku at sea. The plan is risky, relying on a coordinated naval attack, essentially throwing everything they have at Shishio before he can unleash hell on Tokyo. The clatter of sabers and the hushed, urgent whispers of the commanders fill the air as they prepare for a battle they might not win. It's a classic Hail Mary pass, where the ball is made of cannonballs, and the goal is to not get completely vaporized. The fate of Japan, quite literally, hangs in the balance, and everyone knows it. And they're off! Kenshin, wasting no time, goes straight for the Amakakeru Ryu no Hirameki, his ultimate technique. It's a blindingly fast two-stage attack. The whoosh of his sword, the crack of air, the grunt of effort as he executes the impossible strike, it's all there. But Shishio, bless his pyromaniac heart, is tougher than a $2 steak. He's like the Terminator, but with better fashion sense. He withstands Kenshin's devastating blows, his sheer physical endurance and his body numbed by burns, making him almost impervious to pain. The clash of Kenshin's reverse blade sword against Shishio's flaming Mugenjin produces a shower of sparks and a deafening metallic scrape. The smell of burning cloth and singed hair fills the air. Shishio retaliates with brutal force, his flaming sword leaving scorch marks on the ground and forcing Kenshin to constantly dodge and parry. Kenshin, despite his newfound power, finds himself struggling. Shishio's overwhelming strength, his psychological attacks, and that infernal flaming sword are pushing Kenshin to his absolute limits. His breath is coming in ragged gasps, the exhaustion seeping into his bones. This isn't just a duel. It's a marathon against a monster. Just as Kenshin starts to falter, looking like he's about to collapse faster than a house of cards in a hurricane, Saito Hajime, the ultimate I told you so guy, steps in. He observes Kenshin's exhaustion, probably muttering something under his breath about Kenshin's foolish idealism, and decides it's time to show Shishio what a real fight looks like. The metallic ching of Saito drawing his sword is sharp and decisive. He charges Shishio, unleashing his signature Gatotsu attack, a powerful thrust designed to pierce through any defense. The force of his attack, a guttural roar of effort, clashes violently with Shishio's flaming sword, sending shockwaves through the chamber. Saito is a brutal, no-nonsense fighter, and his intervention buys Kenshin precious moments to recover. It's a brief, unexpected alliance, forged purely out of necessity, as Saito clearly still thinks Kenshin is a pain in the neck. But hey, when you're fighting a dude with a flaming sword, you take all the help you can get. The fight becomes a chaotic dance of steel and fire. As Saito tries to keep Shishio off balance, his precise strikes contrasting with Shishio's wild, powerful swings. Seeing Kenshin and Saito struggling, Sanosuke, ever the impulsive muscle, decides it's his turn to play superhero. With a roar of pure determination, he charges Shishio, his fists balled and ready. He probably thinks a good old-fashioned punch is all it takes to solve any problem. The thud of his heavy boots on the ground as he runs, his frantic shouts, he's a whirlwind of unrefined power. But Shishio is in a different league. With a casual flick of his flaming sword, or a devastating kick, Shishio quickly overpowers Sanosuke, sending him flying across the room with a sickening crack against the wall. The grunt of pain from Sanosuke is audible. It's a stark reminder of Shishio's overwhelming power, and that even the strongest brawler is no match for a supervillain with a flaming sword and a ridiculously high pain tolerance. Sanosuke, bruised and beaten, slumps against the wall, watching the fight helplessly, probably internally screaming about how unfair it all is. He's out of the game, at least for now, but his courage isn't forgotten. Just when things look their bleakest, a shadow emerges from the smoke and shadows. Aoshi, who apparently decided that living to fight another day wasn't nearly as fun as jumping back into a suicide mission. He's no longer fighting Kenshin. He's fighting with him. The metallic whisper of his kodachi being drawn is a testament to his renewed purpose. His eyes, though still intense, now carry a sense of clarity, not just vengeance. He joins the fray, his agile, precise attacks adding another layer of complexity to the already chaotic battle. The swift, silent movements of Aoshi, contrasting with the heavier strikes of Kenshin and Saito, provide a fresh challenge for Shishio. The whoosh of his kodachi, the sharp chink of his blades meeting Shishio's, the grunts of exertion. It's a unified front against an almost unstoppable force. It's a powerful moment of redemption, proving that even bitter rivals can unite against a common flaming enemy. This is officially a tag team match, and Shishio is starting to look a little annoyed. Now it's a true ensemble piece. Kenshin, Saito, a limping Sanosuke, and Aoshi are all ganging up on Shishio. It's 4-on-1, and even Shishio, with his flaming sword and superhero-level pain tolerance, is starting to feel the pressure. The metallic cacophony of their combined attacks is deafening. The ching of Kenshin's reverse blade, the solid thud of Sanosuke's fists, the precise snick of Aoshi's kodachi, and the powerful scrape of Saito's gatotsu. They coordinate their attacks, trying to find a weakness, a chink in Shishio's armored defense. One attacks high, one low, one from the side, a relentless assault of steel and determination. Sanosuke, despite his injuries, lands some solid blows, his grunts of effort mixing with the clang of metal. Shishio, however, is still incredibly formidable, deflecting, parrying, and counterattacking with astonishing speed and power. He's a whirling dervish of fire and fury, his demonic laughter echoing in the chamber. He deflects Kenshin with his burning sword, sending a rush of heat, then kicks Saito away with a sickening thump, then spins to deflect Aoshi's blades, then blocks Sanosuke with his arm. The sound of impact like a small explosion. Even with 4 of Japan's strongest fighters, Shishio seems almost unstoppable. It's like trying to put out a bonfire with a garden hose, 4 garden hoses, but still. Just when you thought Shishio was literally invincible, a shocking revelation comes to light. His body, ravaged by those terrible burns, can't regulate its temperature. He's basically a human pressure cooker. He has a strict 15-minute time limit, after which he's going to spontaneously combust. The revelation comes as he visibly struggles, his face contorting in pain, steam beginning to rise from his body, the faint hiss of it audible. It's like watching a really intense kettle boil, but way more dangerous. This changes everything. The fight isn't just about defeating him. It's about holding out, pushing him to his limit, running down the clock. The 4 heroes redouble their efforts, their attacks now fueled by this newfound knowledge. The metallic clang of their swords against his, the shouts of effort, the rapid footfalls, every second counts. The tension ramps up exponentially as the ticking clock becomes the true 5th opponent. It's a race against time, with Japan's future and Shishio's dramatic self-immolation hanging in the balance. This is peak action movie plotting right here. Get ready for some serious sweating, both from the characters and probably the audience. Kenshin is absolutely spent. His body is screaming, his muscles burning, his breath coming in ragged, painful gasps. But as Shishio starts to truly overheat, Kenshin gathers his last, desperate reserves of strength. He sees Kaoru's face in his mind's eye, hears the encouragement of his friends. The quiet, focused determination on his face is palpable. He remembers Hiko's lesson, the will to live. The metallic clang of his sword, even in exhaustion, is firm. He channels every ounce of his being into one final decisive blow. He moves with a purpose that transcends mere physical power, his movements imbued with the weight of his ideals and his promise to protect. The air around him seems to thicken, his focus so intense you could practically hear a hum. It's not just a technique. It's the culmination of his journey, his resolve, his very being. He unleashes the Amakakeru Ryu no Hirameki once more, but this time, it's imbued with an even greater power, a desperate final surge of will. This is for everyone he cares about, for the future of Japan, for a world where people can live in peace. He puts everything on the line, no turning back. It's like watching a sports anime character suddenly access their final, ultimate move, but with way more historical accuracy and swordplay. With a final, earth-shattering clash of blades, Kenshin delivers the decisive blow. The sound of their swords meeting is a crescendo of metallic fury, followed by a sickening thwack. And then, just as Kenshin's blade connects, Shishio's body reaches its critical temperature. He literally bursts into flames, a horrifying spectacle of self-immolation. The roar of the fire is deafening, filling the entire chamber with heat and light. He dies, engulfed in his own ambition, his body incinerating before everyone's eyes, yet somehow he manages a final, maniacal, triumphant laugh as he burns. Because of course he does. He goes out in a blaze of glory, literally. It's a truly gruesome yet poetic end for a villain consumed by fire and ambition. The intense heat of his burning body radiates throughout the room, a final, searing testament to his destructive power. The air smells of smoke and victory, tinged with the metallic tang of battle. The silence that follows is profound, broken only by the crackle of lingering flames and the heavy, ragged breathing of the exhausted heroes. The fight is over. Shishio, the fiery nightmare, is no more. The dust settles, the flames subside, and what's left is a group of utterly battered but victorious heroes. Kenshin, Saito, Sanosuke, and Aoshi stand amidst the wreckage, their clothes torn, their bodies bruised, their faces streaked with grime and sweat. The smell of smoke hangs heavy in the air. The metallic clang of the ship's internal mechanisms groaning, the soft thud of debris falling. It's all part of the aftermath. Government officials, looking pale and relieved, finally arrive to secure the Rengoku and assess the sheer devastation. There's a moment of quiet camaraderie among the fighters, an unspoken acknowledgement of the incredible trial they've just endured together. Even Saito, famously grim, offers a grudging nod of respect. They've saved Japan, but the cost has been immense, both physically and emotionally. The relief is palpable, a heavy sigh that escapes from everyone present. It's the kind of moment where you just want to collapse, but you're too busy being a hero. After all that chaos and flaming sword action, it's a welcome return to normalcy. Kenshin, Kaoru, Sanosuke, and Yahiko finally make their way back to the familiar, comforting confines of the Kamiya Kashin-ryu dojo in Tokyo. The soft creak of the dojo doors as they open, the familiar scent of wood and tatami mats, the gentle rustle of leaves outside. It's a symphony of peace. It's a poignant moment of quiet domesticity after the storm. They resume their daily lives, teaching kendo, sharing meals, and enjoying the simple pleasures of peace. Kenshin, now free from the immediate threat of Shishio, can finally embrace his role as the Rurouni, the wandering samurai who has found a home. There's a sense of bittersweet victory as they know the world is still changing, but they've done their part. The soft crunch of footsteps on the dojo floor, the gentle clang of practice swords, the quiet chatter of friends, it's a beautiful, well-earned reprieve. It's the kind of ending that makes you think, okay, maybe the world won't self-destruct after all. Kenshin and Kaoru share a beautiful, quiet moment on the dojo steps, watching a sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and purple. The gentle rustle of the wind, the distant sounds of the city starting to rebuild. It's a peaceful reflection after immense struggle. They talk about their journey, the choices they've made, and the uncertain but hopeful future ahead. Kenshin, though still carrying the weight of his past, is clearly at peace. The weight of the Batusai identity has lifted, replaced by the quiet strength of Kenshin Himura. Kaoru, ever his anchor, reminds him of the life they've built, the promise of a future together. It's a moment of profound emotional resonance, a testament to their enduring bond. Japan is entering a new era, one of change and modernization, but also one where the scars of the past are still present. The movie closes on this note of cautious optimism, leaving us to wonder about the adventures yet to come, but confident that Kenshin has found his true place in the world. The soft murmur of their voices, the gentle caress of the breeze. It's a calm, thoughtful end to an epic tale. As the final credits roll, we're left with the image of Kenshin, no longer just a legend, but a man who found his path and his home. His journey was a tumultuous one, filled with incredible battles and profound moral dilemmas, but ultimately, it was a search for peace and purpose. The story reminds us that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, the will to protect, the power of friendship, and the courage to change can illuminate the way forward. It's a narrative that celebrates redemption, showing that one's past doesn't define their future, but rather shapes the strength they find within. So, as Kenshin looks out at the horizon, a gentle smile gracing his lips, we're encouraged to carry that spirit of unwavering hope and quiet determination into our own lives. May we all find our own Kamiya dojo, a place of peace, love, and endless bowls of rice. What an incredible ride this trilogy was, showcasing not just breathtaking action but deep character arcs. It truly encapsulated the essence of the wandering samurai, finding peace amidst chaos and teaching us that true strength lies in protecting what you love. It's a beautiful thought to end on.